My first impressions with Update 8. Obviously, it's very cool. It is a beautiful game. The lighting lives up to the hype for sure. Now, the game's not perfect. If you have a factory that you load in to Update 8, you run the risk of having mobs spawn where they previously wouldn't spawn anymore because you already had a factory. Also, one other downside, the object scanner, the label for what you're scanning is no longer on the screen. See right there? See it's blank? Those are my two only complaints. Like, I'm also getting this free slug, but I'm also dealing with this firefly spawner. I mean, what is up with that? Little stuff like that. But this object scanner thing, that's boo. I don't like that at all. Be right back. I'm going to show you some more lighting stuff. Oh, well, check out my infinity tower. It looks even better. Power tower is where I store all my power. At least most of it. And looks even better from this side. Be right back. I'll show you some more of the shadows in a second. Here we are at our coal power plant. Meant to be extremely big. It's halfway done. And it looks pretty amazing. We're sitting on a bunch of water right now. If I turn this on, you can see the water being pumped in at this lower level. And these shadows are looking amazing. I have the lighting capability put in place. I haven't hooked it up yet because in Update 7, there was free lighting to go around. But now, if you want lighting, you're going to have to earn it. No more free lighting for you. Cool stuff like underlighting still needs a little work, but it's definitely adding a certain level of drama. And then if we look over here, we can get a good sense of like how items look right next to each other. I mean, it looks really, really good. And then check out the shininess on the bolts. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's pretty cool. All right. I'm going to go over to the hyper cannon, and then I'll be right back. Hyper cannons still work exactly the same way, except I had to remove the last piece of all of my hyper cannons. Typically, this would be something like kind of like this, right? But I had to take that piece off because I kept getting stuck. But other than that, I'm happy to report that hyper cannons work the exact same way that they did previously. Just take off the last piece, and you're all set. I was hoping that we would get rid of some of the fog. Oh yeah, by the way, don't jam all of your settings to cinematic. You will not be happy. I'm on a 480 with tons of RAM and a brand new CPU, and it chugged my machine pretty bad. So don't go all the way to the max. A couple other things I noticed. Obviously, all these signs and lights, all the signs are now making light. So I have a really awesome floor-based uplighting for these machines. Looks amazing. Purple lights being cast all over the place. The sign lights over here, casting as expected, as promised. The mix between the two looks amazing. So that's all great. Tractors seem to be a little bit more forgiving. Whenever I stand in the path of a tractor, sometimes, not always, it chooses not to run me over. And then I also noticed that when I died, I lost my inventory, but my character items stayed intact. I don't know if that's permanent, but that's also amazing. Very much appreciated. So that's it. 4 hours in. Those are my first impressions. If you're happy with the way your game currently operates, I would say go ahead and give it a try. Definitely back up your saves. But I would say it's ready to go if you're a little bit more on the experimental side of things. I would probably suggest, though, that you go ahead and start up a new game, try to find the settings that work for you and work for your machine before you crank up your new factory or your current factory. That way you can just be sure that you're not going to have any oddities. Oh, yeah, and one more thing that I noticed. You can hear that you're wearing the Blade Runners now. Hear that little click when I jump? That's because I'm wearing the Blade Runners. So, other than that, hey, if you made it this far, consider a subscription. Other than that, thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.